Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing the Enid Brewing Company and Enid, and later on in the show we're going to talk a $3 billion in economic impact to Oklahoma. I'm Brett.
And I am Hercules.
Yes, you are, because you have arisen this show from the dead.
I have arisen the show.
Arisen the show. Is it risen?
Lifted. I think
Lifted, you've lifted.
I think you would say lifted if you were saying it was.
Your strength, your power, your grace. But can you lift a beer?
Dude, Enid Brewing Company is the first.
They're the Hercules of beer.
I love this.
Yeah.
They are the first grain-to-glass brewery in Oklahoma.
That's the... I see what they did. It's the beer connoisseur's farm to table.
Absolutely. But I don't want to talk about any of the political issues happening with the beer community right now at all.
What, you don't want to ask
but
if they...
Can we be honest and say...
Bud Light's not that good a beer anyway?
No, I was going to say prior to any beers making national news, that the OnlyinOKShow would have been advocating
buy local
grain-to-glass breweries in Oklahoma.
Right. No, absolutely. Not a question about it. We don't want... At the OnlyinOKShow, we don't want anything that's mass-produced.
We don't want your multinational corporation money. You take that and you shove it.
We don't want your money. What we're saying is, we're saying no to the big guys. We don't want your money.
Lowe's? We're not taking any ads for Lowe's.
We're not taking ads for Lowe's. Home Depot, maybe? No. Unless it's
an Oklahoma business.
Unless it's homegrown Depot.
Back to Enid Brewery Company.
Only in Oklahoma, proud.
Yes,
Enid Brewing
we are
Company.
proud of them. They also serve food, and I'll bring it up later in the show. There's also a nice place to lay your head at the end of the day, where if you had too many grain-to-glass brews.
When you've reached the end of your Enid beer, what do they call that, a beer flight?
Beer crawl.
Beer crawl. That's it. Yeah. Beer crawl. No, I don't
that's a
think
pub
so.
crawl.
Yeah, this isn't one of those.
We're not good at this.
We're terrible at. We don't drink enough. Maybe we should drink more.
Enid Brewing Company was started by Brady Sidwell and Justin Blazer. It was in partnership with some local farms. And, dude, a stellar idea.
Yeah, you're not hearing... I mean, yes, Oklahoma has kind of gradually become like this hub for people doing their own home brews, and you've got Coop, and you've got Black Mesa Brewing. I mean, they're all over the place. Wineries is another thing that's kind of popped up. But I don't hear of a lot of them doing exactly what they're doing.
No, where everything's local, from local providers, that sort of stuff. I think it's a great idea. It's great for the communities. But Brady and Justin started this in 2019.
The worst time to start anything.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I mean,
historically, the absolute worst time to start anything, but they have been a massive success. Their mission, simple: brew quality beer with traditional ingredients and modern techniques that will satisfy every palate from enthusiast to connoisseur alike.
I have to think about it for a second. Is 2019 a bad time to start a brewery?
Dude, there was no going out.
Yeah, but...
in 2020. March of 2020 rolled around and nobody went anywhere for anything.
If there was ever a time to, start drinking, would probably be 2019, 2020.
Yeah, but how many people weren't even going out to buy?
Yeah, that's true.
So
you're right.
They had to knock it out of the park to make it through that
That's
time.
Crazy. And just a quick aside, how many small business, local business owners have we interviewed within the last 3 to 4 years that literally started,
right around that time? Or they totally changed up everything at that time and made it work?
That's a testament. You really have to put your money where your mouth is, put the consumer's mouth where your money is. You know what I mean? It makes sense. Think about it.
I'm trying to visualize. I don't want to.
Put your money where... Okay.
No.
You know how... I'll explain after the show. The point is, putting your product in front of the consumer, you really got to work at it. It probably, arguably, one of the toughest times to start anything or and to not close and to not shutter.
Yeah, no. You had to do a lot of stuff right at that point in time.
Yeah.
But the vibe at this place, it's lively, welcoming. Children are welcome. This is a family-friendly establishment. So, and I personally kind of think it's, what's the word? It's got good vibes.
Yeah, and here's the thing about it. I think and I'm not saying if you drink beer, you're a lush. It's a certain type of person that drinks IPAs and, you know what I mean? Your craft beers. Those are more for sipping and socializing.
As opposed to slamming down some Michelobes or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could shotgun an IPA. I don't know how well you would do at the end of it, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure the brewmaster wouldn't like that. Though.
No, it's kind of a shot. I'm not saying this is upper crust, but this is a different. I think if you go to a place like Enid Brewing, you probably it's just a different kind of. It's a little bit.
There's a lot more pride.
There you go.
Right there in that building for what you're being served.
Right. There's not pee on the toilet seat, probably.
So
I've been to those places before. Go ahead.
The bathrooms are clean.
Yes.
But more importantly, there is a glass wall that has views straight into the brewing process.
That's cool, man.
You can sit right there and see the beer being created.
I'm trying to think of something that's like the first time I went to Subway and watched them make my sandwich right there. I was like, wow, this is cool. Somehow watching your beer being made is so much cooler.
I don't know that I was ever impressed by Subway.
Okay, how about Krispy Kreme donuts? You watch your donuts coming, you see the people making them, and they're going through the thing, and and then the light comes on, it says fresh one.
Maybe once. Maybe once I was excited about that.
Okay, at the fair, when they're making the cinnamon rolls, you get to watch them roll out the dough and slap on the blah. But it's still not making the beer making process. It's science, man. Yes. It is a science.
But I think the nice thing about the Enid Brewing Company is there's a lot of art that goes into this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a lot of the traditional style IPAs and stouts and all that sort of stuff with your usual flavors. But then they also have a lot of stuff that is way outside the box, like jalapeno and honey, or just some crazy new idea that just works.
Yeah, I'm all for some, when I was a kid, the first beer I ever tasted, my Uncle Floyd, I was 10 years old. I was at a family reunion, and he hands me a tall boy of Old Milwaukee. And you remember when we were kids, it was like, here, drink it. If you gave a kid a beer now, someone would slap the kid, and slap the beer out of your hand. But I had an Old Milwaukee. It was nothing like this.
I think it's a requirement. Like, you're legally obligated as an uncle to give out a beer to an underage kid.
When we were kids, the drinking age was 10, 8, 7. If you could hold the can, you could drink it. And if you could keep it down,
you could have another one.
You're a stud. But the point is,
don't drink beer, kids.
Well, no, beer flavors are a dime a dozen with your average store-bought beers. A lot of places are carrying local breweries now. OnlyinOKShow is another one that does a really good job of showcasing. They have a whole section just for local breweries. So having that variety, hi OnlyinOKShow.
I'm gonna say that's about the 100th time that we've mentioned OnlyinOKShow,
and we haven't can't even get a text back.
Hey, OnlyinOKShow, give us a call.
Seriously, we're local.
You're local. We're local. You know what I mean?
Let's get local together. Let's get physical. No, we don't want to get physical, but let's get local. But yeah,
but they have a ton of beers on tap,
right?
But in addition to the beer, they also have a full service restaurant with some bomb food,
dude. They've got a lot of your homegrown your fan favorites. Smash burgers, dude. You can't go wrong. You really can't.
Especially when you're talking locally sourced beef, fried onions, their special sauce. They also have bacon jam.
Oh.
Like it's a bacon jelly, dude, on a hamburger.
It's science.
No, that's not science.
That's kind of jelly.
That is amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, you turn... But, dude, it's science when you turn bacon into jam. I don't care how you do it. Just put it on my plate.
So I've been doing my keto thing for a long time.
Dude, you have to break your streak here pretty quick.
I have gone full carnivore for like the last 14 days. I think I'm doing pretty good. And one of the things that is available at the Enid Brewing Company, their ribeye, 16-ounce ribeye, local, pasture-raised, grain-finished from Sidwell Farms right there.
You know,
Like, you can pick it out, dude.
okay.
I want that guy.
Listen, I'm going to say something, and we might get canceled.
Okay.
Eh.
You don't like a ribeye?
I can
What is
take or-
wrong with you?
I can take or leave it.
What is, like, literally, what is wrong with
I
you?
can take or leave it. I'm just, I mean, I bet it's great. I've had it many times, but it's just not my, I don't know. It doesn't make me, no. It doesn't make me feel bad enough when I eat it.
They also have a chicken fried steak. I have not had the chicken fried steak.
I'm a sucker for a freaking chicken fried steak, dude.
But the description of their chicken fried steak, served with charred jalapeno gravy and choice of 2 sides, big enough to feed 2 people.
They've
never met you.
That's cute.
They've never met you.
People.
But they are looking for you to come. They have a dessert for you called the Tuxedo Bomb. It is an individual ice cream cake, kind of like a frozen ding dong.
Okay. If the last thing didn't cancel.
Frozen ding dong? Hostess ding dong. Not
right. I get what you're saying. Not a ding dong made of prime rib. Gotcha. No, I'm not big on ice cream. I don't do a lot of dairy. But I'm not trying to, I know we're supposed to sell the sizzle. It sounds, I would eat it because I like ding dongs. Okay. I stepped right into that one. I really did. I went into it head first.
I prefer the name Tuxedo Bomb
as opposed to ding dong.
But anyway, ours, they have
great hours.
I don't know. Yes, they have great hours. It's one of the local town things where they're closed on Mondays.
I mean, God, you got to take a day off.
And they just do Sunday brunch on Sunday, but then every other day of the week, it's basically 11 to 10 or 11:30.
Here's what I also like about them. I've been known to buy a shirt or two after. That's usually my dessert. If you do me right, I'm buying something tight. I usually go for the t-shirts.
You do? You actually just brought me one.
I did bring you a t-shirt from Weber's Root Beer in Tulsa. It's on Peoria.
Everything's on Peoria.
There's a lot of stuff on Peoria, and there's a lot of stuff on Yale.
Yeah, I don't understand how that city is put together, honestly.
I love Tulsa.
I've been there a billion times.
Yeah, same.
And it literally seems like everything's on Peoria.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on
like,
Peoria.
Hey, here's a really cool restaurant I never heard of. Where's it at? Let me guess, Peoria.
But quick shout out to Weber's Root Beer. If you go to Weber's Root Beer, dude, get yourself in double trouble and get the double 4th pounder or double quarter pounder. Sorry, not 4th pounder. Get the double quarter pounder with cheese. Highly recommend. They also have a barrel aged root beer that recipes from 1933.
I have to break my diet.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. I know we're talking about Enid Brewing, but you got me on this Weber's thing. Everything is delicious. Every single thing. It's the best root beer. I'm a root beer guy. Give me a Sioux City Sarsaparilla. Shout out to Sam Elliott from Big Lebowski for suggesting the Sioux City Sarsaparilla. But give me a good root beer or a rock solid ginger ale that burns all the way down. Sign me up. They don't have that, but go to Weber's Root Beer. It's the oldest. It's the oldest running business in the Brookwood area.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
I said Brookwood. I think it's Brookwood.
I'll spell it.
Yeah, I had to get a t-shirt. I had to, and I had to get it for you. So now you'll be sporting their swag. We need to get some Enid Brewing swag, though.
We do, and they have all of the regulars, plus they have the glassware. Yeah, but if you're into collecting, like the beerware, so to speak, the mugs and Stein mugs, flutes, and that sort of, they have that stuff as well. So a lot of people like to collect that stuff.
They like to collect it, and they like to drink out of it. I'm somebody that I'll buy. Let me tell you what I like to collect. Popcorn bucket from movies that I'll never watch again. Not watch again, but I'll never use the popcorn buckets again.
What do you do with them?
Well, currently I've got a Batman and a Spider-Man and a Guardians of the Galaxy popcorn bucket not doing anything. So Yeah, I would probably get more use out of a beautifully crafted Enid Brewing Company.
It's kind of hard to drink out of a popcorn bucket.
Depends on what I'm drinking. I can drink a lot of beers out of a popcorn bucket.
As far as the Enid Brewing Company goes, though, they are super popular.
Yeah.
And you don't have to just take our word for it.
No.
Like, they've been covered on Discover Oklahoma. They've been in the Tulsa World. If you want more information, there's plenty about them out there. But the hidden thing, the hidden agenda,
the thing behind the bookcase,
the hidden feature that I was discussing at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
They have a bed and breakfast called the Upper Story.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the mid-century modern apartment right above the brewery in downtown Enid. So, dude, I think if you really want to
get thrashed and then go upstairs,
or if you just like the overall experience, you want to have a full day, a full weekend.
Give me the A to Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
But if you want more information on the Enid Brewing Company, you can check out their website, enidbrewing.com.
And coming up next, Cherokee Nation's economic impact on Oklahoma exceeds $3 billion. That's a billion with a B. Coming up.
I'm Raven Rollins, and this is my Southern True Crime podcast where I discuss cases from my former hometown. Ada, Oklahoma paints itself as an average community, but its history of murder and corruption runs deeper than any story has ever told. You'll hear plenty of special guests, including authors and experts in their fields, who visit with me on each episode, as well as other cases in the southern states. With notorious and unknown cases alike, every victim sees the light on my show. This is Sirens, a true crime podcast.
So our news story today from KTL by Savannah Sinclair. Cherokee Nation's economic impact on Oklahoma exceeds $3 billion.
You know, I was just up in Tulsa, and I'll say it again. Tulsa. I talk about every time I go up there. But $3 billion is nothing to balk at.
Yeah, there was a recent forum held at the University of Tulsa where the Cherokee Nation highlighted their annual impact on Oklahoma. And dude, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, one thing, when you create $3 billion of economic impact, that's a lot of jobs, that's a lot of businesses, that's a lot of tribally owned businesses. I mean, it covers a huge swath of the community.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunities, the development in Northeast Oklahoma, in their support of education, their growth in industries, the jobs that they provide, the improved health care and building infrastructure, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Economic report shows that the tribe remains one of the state's largest economic drivers through investments, employment, labor income, and local production of goods and services. Dude, $3 billion to the bottom line. Like when we talked about the economic impact of tourism in the state,
yeah,
it's not dramatically more than that. I think it's 3 times that. Last time I saw it was $9 billion.
That's insane when you think of on paper. That's insanity. But during COVID, the relief funding generated. Hell, they got 2.7 or 2,000,007
in economic impact
in economic impact in Oklahoma during COVID, for crying out loud.
But I think more importantly, the Cherokee Nation itself has either directly or indirectly supported over 18,000 jobs and pays out almost $1 billion in wages throughout.
Here's something that I don't think of, because you hear so much, and again, I'm not casting any shade, but you hear so much about Chickasaw country and Chickasaw Nation because that's the area we live in. I didn't know this, but the Cherokee Nation is the largest sovereign tribal government in the United States. That's crazy to me.
I wasn't aware of that at all, but I think it's worth noting that they make significant investments in the infrastructure of Northeast Oklahoma: roads, bridges, transportation, housing, public water and sanitation systems. I think it's huge. I find it amazing that Cherokee Nation not only owns all of these businesses and has all this huge impact on the economy, but they're also heavily invested in the cultural preservation of the Cherokee Nation, Cherokee people, and I think they do a really good job of balancing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to take that a step further, we've talked about it before, and we've covered stories, kind of what the Kiowa are doing with having Kiowa language courses at OU.
Mm-hmm.
I think at its core, if we don't preserve the traditions and the history, it all becomes an ancient text that no one understands. And in order to carry these sovereign nations forward, you have to preserve the history. I mean, it should be treated no differently than any other historical record. Although I think as time goes on, the languages start to fade away, the traditions fade away, the storytellers fade away. And I just think that the Cherokee Nation's done just a fantastic job of still preserving that pride, in the nature of the Cherokee Nation. I'm all for it. Please continue.
Well, if you want more information on this news story, we'll include a link in the show notes. But if you want more information on the Cherokee Nation specifically and their impact on the economy, check out the website CherokeeImpact.com.
Quick shout out. I forgot to mention, if you go to Weber's on Peoria in Tulsa, ask for Brian. He messaged me and said, hey, you swing through, ask for Brian. There's going to be a lot of people swinging through going, where's Brian? Where's Brian?
We've been talking about this for a while. We need a stinger.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be working on the stinger for our listener feedback. But there was a little bit of listener feedback that is actually really cool, I think.
Okay.
So there was a movie being recorded.
Oh, yeah.
In a town.
Maybe
not far
from here.
Not far from here. And you and I were out checking it out. We snapped a couple of pictures.
No biggie.
Nothing big. We
weren't hanging from the rafters of said movie set.
We were in a publicly accessible area, and we took pictures of just some scenery.
Yeah, just scenery.
And we posted it on Facebook, and we had a massive turnout. I want to say we went from a couple 100,000 to 1.3 million people reached on Facebook.
Yeah.
In a very short period of time. And the producers of the movie in question reached out to us and said, hey, some of this is supposed to be a secret. Can you guys please take down your photos?
Right.
Like, it's in newspapers. We knew about the location
because of the newspaper.
It was in the Daily Oklahoman. It was in the local
Ouachita Valley community news.
So we kind of thought it was public knowledge.
Right.
So we thought it was cool. We'd take some pictures. It's in Oklahoma. It's referencing an old Oklahoma movie.
It's an Only in OK exclusive.
It's an Only in OK movie.
Right.
And, I thought it was really cool that we caused such a stir that the producers of said movie that we cannot name asked us to please take down our photos.
I was in Walmart in Tulsa, Oklahoma, playing phone tag with a production company over said movie. I finally got a hold of this production company for said movie, and I was kindly asked, in not so many words, had I not said, you just want us to take it down? Oh, that would be a great idea. Who am I to tussle with Hollywood? But you know what? Good publicity, bad publicity, I'll take it. Wait, I prefer good publicity, so I don't want to cease and desist from Universal Pictures or whoever the production company is. But yeah, that was our, and I honestly, when you told me, can you return this call for said person, I really thought we were,
you thought I was pranking you or something.
No. When I saw the message, I was like, maybe we're getting some behind the velvet rope kind of stuff. Maybe we're going to be invited to the premiere just to keep us from not being banned from the movie premiere. I was nice. It was not an invite as VIPs to said anything or as to be the podcasters that get blown away.
I think the funny thing to me is Like you make products that you want to be advertised.
Yeah, that's your
And
goal.
you got too much advertising by a couple of podcasters putting it up on their Facebook page. I thought it was I thought it showed the value of our show
Yeah.
very clearly.
It's not like we were leaking, it's not like we were leaking Brad Pitt being in the next Batman movie.
No, the photos were legitimately of the smallest bit of background
Right.
imagery.
And there were $12 an hour security guards that looked like they were just like waiting to get off.
Yeah.
Guarding the area. I probably could have like said squirrel and they looked that way and we could have walked onto the set, no problem. There's nothing keeping you from walking on the set besides two guys that aren't big. I mean, we're old enough to be their parents.
Yeah.
But, kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of cool being, I'm going to take it to my grave, probably. Hopefully that won't be our legacy. That won't being, kindly asked to remove said images. But no, that's pretty cool.
I think so.
Well, hey, if you're a Hollywood producer or a publicist, or if you're not, keep the feedback coming. We're going to do a thing again. I'm going to create a new stinger we're getting a lot of listener feedback lately, at least consistently enough to where I think we could bring it back. But if you want to be a part, you want to hear your comment read on the air in front of 1.3 million people.
1.3 million people.
That's a million with an M.
Well, this has been the Only in OK Show. I'm Harley.
I'm Brett.
And we're out of here.
Peace. What would you do with $250,000?
I don't know. Probably pay off all my bills.
You wouldn't get into a small submarine and journey to the Marianas Trench with a guy that's controlling the submarine with a Logitech. Let me tell you about Logitech controllers, first of all. When I worked at GameStop, people would come in and go, how much of the PlayStation at the time, PlayStation 3 controllers? Oh, $50. What's the cheapest one you got? Well, we got a Logitech.
$9.
You got a $9 controller guiding a submarine with how many passengers? I know you're shrugging your shoulders, but I mean, I know stupid is as stupid does, but you're going to be a relic with the Titanic? They got one more day of oxygen. That's what they said Thursday, and it's...
Mm-hmm. They're already dead.
Well, they got one toilet.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're already dead. Like, you don't go radio silent in a 5-person submarine. See, here's the thing. You got a whole lot of fail-safes.
Yeah.
If they lost their communications, they would have just surfaced.
Yeah.
If they lost their ability to surface, they would have just said, hey, we're stuck down here. But they went radio silent and didn't pop up. They had a faulty seam,
something,
an unsecured bolt. They got down to 1.2 miles under the ocean, and that thing collapsed like a beer can.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying earlier to somebody. Is like, they're going to find trash when they find this thing.
I don't even think, like, literally, I think they're not going to find anything because it's now 1/100th the size that it was.
Right.
And it's solid aluminum that sank to the bottom of the ocean.
There's only one person that could save the day. James Cameron. He invented that dive kit. Remember when he went to the bottom of the Marianas Trench and it was dark, just completely pitch black? He's like, well, nothing down here. When you got that kind of money, that's FU money. First of all, I'm going to build a thing. I'm going to design a thing.
I mean, when you have multiple billions of dollars, I mean, Elon Musk put a Tesla in orbit around Earth.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
that's nerd. That's like
just like total FU money.
Yeah, Richie Rich.
I'm going to build a rocket that can go into space. Yeah. What are you going to do with it?
Nah,
I'm going to put one of my cars up there. Nobody's stealing that wood.
Seriously. Yeah.
In case I ever break down when I'm in my space travels, I
basically, well, I mean, it's like
hop in a Tesla and cruise
a
on home.
billionaire with a half a brain is basically a child playing make-believe on the floor. Whatever you can come up with. When James Cameron makes the ocean floor look more real on a movie than in the real ocean, that's stupid money, man. But anyway, I guarantee he's sitting at home waiting for the bat phone to ring. They didn't call me.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not a rescue mission.
Oh, I know.
And it's not a recovery mission. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody has the money, the means to go searching for a ball of metal that's buried in silt now.
You know, we talk about the effect of, our part of our job is to kind of look at reviews, and of course we don't let me review anything because a 3 out of 5 is I loved it. But even if I've got $250,000 to just shoot out of a money cannon, can I do some research? How many missions have they went on that were successful? I'm not doing a maiden voyage and the Yellow Submarine because they're going to be.
I don't think it was a maiden voyage. Had done some shit.
What I'm saying is, like, who do you sue? Like the guy right now that started it all. I guarantee he's like, Pop. He's done.
Wasn't he in it?
Was he? I don't know.
I think he was.
Jeez. God, man. That's just insane to me. There are a few things I have no interest in. When I went on a cruise, I remember going out on the deck of the boat at night. There was nothing other than, I think, maybe the vastness of space that prepares you for staring out into the darkness and being in the middle of the ocean and going, dude, I'm 5 feet away from never being found again.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're the guardrails on the ship, you're like, come at me, bro, because nobody's gonna find you. Because I like I said, I've never seen, other than sitting in pure darkness, and even then, it's not as black as looking out into there's nothing. I can't imagine. Can you imagine what kind of death that would be? It'd be a slow one, being slowly. When does
dehydrated,
when does the hope? When do you stop giving up hope that you can be rescued? When the radio's like, shh, and you feel yourself being compacted. I
don't think there would be any feeling. Like, literally, my thought is, because there was no distress signal. They didn't say, breaker 19.
Is there not a homing beacon or something that could have been?
I'm sure there is. And it's right there with the radio, which is now inside of a steel ball that is about a foot across.
To me, the thought of that, it just basically being liquefied.
Yeah, and that's my personal opinion. They probably had a faulty seam or something like that. They got down to a certain pressure, and that thing literally just popped.
God, what a nightmare! What an absolute nightmare!
I don't think it'd be a nightmare at all. I think.
Well, I know, but
Did you hear a noise?
Yeah, but
and then
boom,
it's over.
Then it's like like going into the multiverse and getting stuck in the whatever the hell. God, man.
It's like being teleported into a volcano, an active volcano. You're not going to feel anything.
No, it's going to happen pretty quick, huh? But from an onlooker's perspective, let's just pretend you're watching it happen. That's nightmare fuel, dude.
Yeah. I know. Honestly, I don't know. But in my eyes, when you're talking about something, that pressure is so dramatic. I don't even know what the PSI miles.
I also wonder how deep, like free divers, how deep they go. 1 meter, 2 meters?
300 meters.
300 meters?
I think.
God. So like right on the brink of passing out. God bless, man.
Hydrostatic pressure calculated. Depth below ocean floor, water. Yeah. Okay. At the deepest point in the ocean, it's literally 15,000 pounds of force per every inch of your exposed flesh. It's like having 15,000 pound weights connected to you all at once.
Gosh, you disintegrate at that point, don't you?
Yeah. So
isn't that just crazy to even? So are we still saying Marianas Trench? The bottom
they're
of
not
it,
at the Marianas Trench, but it's stupid. It's like It would be like...
But what I'm saying, is that the deepest? Are we
Yes.
still saying that's the deepest?
That's
okay.
the deepest. But it would be the equivalent of having a, 10,000 pound flat metal plate
Yeah.
dropped on you. Like, you wouldn't feel it.
When sea animals are like, nah, we're good right here.
Yeah. We're going to not have spines
Yeah.
or veins. Like, we're just going to be blobs down here at this point.
I mean, there are some sea creatures that live, and they don't look like anything, man.
No.
You're iridescent. You have to be iridescent to live that far down. Just can't even. I can't wrap my head around it still. I mean, I can, but if you're in it, you've already got your head wrapped around it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't even think we can actually picture.
Are you going to look up what it would look like to be crushed? It just shows an empty void. Your body was here.
Okay, so there's a list of what happened to this submersible. Most likely scenarios. Number one, it's bobbing around somewhere on the surface waiting to be found. They lost radio, and they're in a tiny little ship with water.
That's not the case.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's distinctly possible. It has suffered a catastrophic implosion. Catastrophic failure. This could be due to a leak or power failure. There's also a chance of small fire. Blah, blah, blah. The worst case scenario is the pressure hull was breached, leading to a catastrophic implosion. It would happen quite quickly, and there would be little chance of surviving. It might have got tangled up in the wreckage of the Titanic, which again, why did they get tangled up and not have a radio? They're saying at this point in time, even exactly where it was, they probably would, if it's under that much.
Yeah, at that point, it's not safe for a search or rescue.
Okay. A Seawolf submarine can go down to 1,600 feet.
Feet, not miles.
Crush depth for a human is... Oh, if you went down 35 kilometers, it would crush your bones. More people have traveled into space than into the depths of our ocean.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just beer can theory.
Just holding it.
I mean, like, nuclear subs go down to two or 3 feet.
Yeah.
Regular design.
This is not. Clearly.
But, like, that's not... They have, like, a shit ton of fail-safes in place.
Mm-hmm.
This thing was the size of a minivan and had 5 people inside of it.
Right.
How
Yeah.
many fail-safes did they have? And what kind of flaw? Like, somebody didn't put enough epoxy on the window, and they had 1 billion gallons of water rush into the space of a small closet all at once.
Yeah, and how do you check that? I mean, obviously you dip it in the water and see what happens before. I mean, unless it was something more catastrophic than that. I mean, does it get any more catastrophic? I mean, it could have, like you said, a small thing. Gosh.
Screw a bolt in tight enough. Like torque schmork.
You're like, what, honey? Okay.
Yeah.
Forgets to tighten the freaking...
I'm not arguing.
All right, bud. You ready to strap on? Freaking rock and roll, man?
Look.
Let's roll. Yeah. We've been recording the whole time. It's got some good stuff on there. Got some good stuff on the outtake there, bud.
Street closure due to Twister.
So what it says?
That's what it says.
You know? When do they break the news?
That newspaper was sitting here when they asked to take down our... They're saying they're more valuable. We reach more people, Washita Valley Shopper.
And the Daily Oklahoma.
That's saying something.
That is saying something, man. I mean, if I knew what our rights were, I might have pushed a little bit.
Rights to it.
All right. He puts the MC in the McDouble. I'm with you, dude, because I was thinking about it, man. I was like, what time's 4th of July start? Midnight? When? Well,
it's like right after the 3rd of July, but not the 5th of July. Hold on. Is that every year?
Are firecrackers legal? Depends on where you live. I live in the country. Yeah, probably legal.
Can I bring my own airplane to the air show? Hang on, I'm getting to the picture. I should just ask on Facebook since that's what everybody does.
Right? No, you need an instant message as the OnlyinOKShow. Somebody that
just random.
What time? How much it costs? See, I heard it's free.
Free admission.
I will say this: Texas wants you to know when you get there with the big granite Texas.
Yeah.
You drive into Oklahoma, I'm like, you're using the new logo. Okay, cool. Got the new logo, the thing that Travel OK released last year.
I gotcha.
But you barely see it. Like, can you announce yourself?
I agree.
Oklahoma's like, we're better than Texas in 5 out of 6 ways. What's the 6th way? We don't got a sign as big as them. Well, I mean, I realize that WinStar Casino is your welcome to Oklahoma sign.
We have a small sign.
And tiny picnic areas when you scattered about the,
I don't like that, by the way. It pisses me off.
What?
That all of the rest stops on the side of the road that were just rest stops,
Yeah.
like they're gone.
Yeah, it's dumb. Why?
It's because they didn't want to mow it.
Or something. I remember when I was a kid stopping at a rest stop on the way to Texhoma, especially, it didn't matter when. There was always one right there before you got to Davis.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there. The nitpicky stuff that I'm talking about, like the Texas Welcome Center, I mean, it's not the Pentagon, it's not the Vatican, but it's a nice little, Oklahoma's is,
On the same border, yeah, I agree.
it's on the same freaking border, and you get really,
They built the Taj Mahal, and we built a Conoco.
yeah, but I will say this about Texas. Every road, once you get into Dallas-Fort Worth, every road is, it's a damn, that's every road. Every road in Texas is a toll road. You know how many toll roads there are in Texas? Here's the thing, folks. You go, well, we should have where we don't pay any sales tax in Oklahoma. No, then they turn every road into a toll road, and they make public transportation
$7 million a mile.
$7 million a mile. That train is cool, but I'm telling you, ask Texas what they think about that train.
Yeah.
But every time, I remember last time we went down there, I'm like, 10 years ago, I didn't have to pay to drive down the George Bush Memorial Highway. Now they're pegging me for $5, $5.20 or something stupid. In Oklahoma toll,
Mm-hmm.
we went to Tulsa. You know that one that you hit, Bristow?
Mm-hmm.
$5. I mean, remember the $1.25, $2.50 days?
Yeah. It's really getting ridiculous.
I hate that they got rid of the toll booth down here. I like that 1-to-1. How you doing? Or just go through I like knowing that there's people there. I feel like I'm on the Autobahn now.
Well, there's people there. They're hypos. They're there to pull you over.
Dude, I've never seen it. In all my years of driving this thing, A, I've never been pulled over. And B, you know that little substation by Easy Go?
Uh-huh.
I think those cars are decoys. I've never seen a highway patrol car.
Pull in or out. I have once or twice.
Once or twice, maybe. I'm telling you, it's the Wild Wild West out here in the Southwest. I said negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Copy that, Goose.
Roger that. We've got a couple things in our rear view. They're like, that's not what you say. You don't say rear view. You're canceled.
Yeah, that's you guys are Air Force. I was talking naval air.
This
defense.
This is merchant marine stuff, man. You wouldn't get it.
Naval special force.
No, this is with the Marines. When we're flying a Harrier jet, this is how we talk in Marines. We say rear view mirror
because we got them. I don't know if you noticed, but they're small, but they're. You got to check your side mirrors.
Dude, did I tell you about doing some? They may not find me after. You may not find me after I say this.
What if you had to have blinkers on airplanes?
It'd make it really easy for the MiG to go. He's turning left. Or he's banking. Yeah, bud, we'll be there. You want me to tell him?
I don't know. Can we get on with the show?
Hey, man. It's Brett with the OnlyinOKShow. Yeah, we'd love to be there. You guys have food?
You should reply back and go, what day is it on? Is it free?
What time? They're like, cancel. All right. You ready to get going, man?
I'm ready.
Hallelujah, brother. Hallelujah. Damn, Hamburglar, you been working out? Damn, Grimace. You're really making me grimace. Okay. Sorry, that's stupid. Hey, look at the sesame seeds on that Hamburglar.
That doesn't even make any sense.
No, what was the cop? What was the cop that wasn't the Hamburglar, and then there was the cop that was the burger?
Grimace?
No, Grimace is the purple guy. It's his birthday. They've been doing a purple shakes. If you can find an ice cream machine at work. Gosh, man. Look, we could put 5 people in a submarine.
But we can't figure out who the cop was. And
No, we can't figure out how to fix the ice cream machine at McDonald's.
Officer Big Mac.
Officer Big Mac.
McDonald Land, even in McDonald Land, they needed law and order, and while the made-up world of trippy fast food characters didn't exactly have Ice-T chasing down criminal deviants and Sam Waterston prosecuting their cases, it did have a police force of its own. This force consisted of one man, and his name was Officer Big Mac.
How come he doesn't get any love?
Hang on, blah,
Because
blah,
is it
blah.
because he's a cop? Is that what it is? Beef life.
He was a good cop. Whether or not he was a good cop is a subject of much debate. Yes, he was fairly effective at keeping the Hamburglar and Captain Crook at bay, but he was also the subject of a federal investigation after causing hundreds of injuries and potentially forced into early retirement because he had the cage.
Yeah. I've been in that thing the 29th of May. Yeah. Those toys were not safe to get on.
So they think it could have been that, or it could have been that Mayor McCheese and Officer Big Mac had a beef.
Oh, of course they did.
Not anymore, they don't.
Listen.
Because McDonald's had beef in their hamburgers since like the 70s.
You know what? But listen, you know what it takes to be Officer Big Mac? 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese.
On a sesame
Seed
seed
bun.
bun. Yeah.
You know, many have. Can you? What's that police academy? You gotta be. Though 100 came in, only 1 walked out.
Talking best of the best there. You heard of SWAT? Don't hold a candle to Officer Big Mac.
He's gonna put you in the paddy wagon. Come on, seriously. Hey, you ain't gonna be hot dogging around on your motorbike.
No hot dogging at McDonald's.
There's been a McFlurry of activity.
Oh my god. Fines are McDouble in this area. It's a school zone.
Was he the first cop to get canceled because of...
Fines are McDoubled when
Right.
children are present.
Oh, you ready to do this?
I don't know.
Beef lives matter.
Do they?
If you're a McCop. What is that?
A sticker.
What is it? Val Peralta?
Dutch Dad.
Dutch Dad, what's that?
It's Dutch Brothers. I'm going to cover it up.
Man, come
ain't
on,
one of
dude.
us.
They ain't paying us, dude.
They ain't one.
You know what I mean? They won't even go Dutch on a date. That's the tell you between Scooters and Dutch Brothers, they can both go to coffee hell. We only drink coffee from Viridian Coffee with 3 locations: Chickasha, Duncan, and Lawton. Viridian, surfs up. What?
A statue of Officer Big Mac was stolen in 1983.
By the Hamburglar? Sorry. By a guy dressed up as Ronald McDonald. It was an inside job.
A 5-foot-tall fiberglass version of Officer Big Mac mysteriously went missing from Miami McDonald's with a group called NPLO claiming responsibility. Ruthless Cartel, you know what NPLO stands for? NPLO? No pickles, lettuce, onions.
The Chick-fil-A gang kidnapped Officer Big Mac.
Okay, we're going
All
to
right.
get on with this.
Let's get it. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're talking about Enid Brewing Company. What am I looking at? Hang on, that's not it. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the...
That wasn't even a word.
I got in trouble when I was a kid in the back seat, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was for me going, which they made up that word. I don't know if it was that or for saying Rock of Ages, and it sounded like I said Rock of, I don't know what. But I got in trouble for it. John reached back and popped me in the head. Probably not the first time he popped me for no reason. Still miss you though, bud. 3, 2, 1.